Yo, what is going on, guys? It is UggyFace Gaming here, and welcome to a video that I personally did not want to make, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have been waiting for me to make this video. Now, if you guys don't know, yes, this video is going to be my thoughts on One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. Now, disclaimer, I'm not sponsored to do this. Like, Bandai Namco aren't paying me to say nice stuff about this game, or like anyone's not paying me to talk about this game in my opinion. This is me just stating my opinion and what I think about this game. And also another disclaimer is I haven't finished the story slash campaign of this game, but I initially made a review a couple of days ago, but I scrapped it. One, because I accidentally deleted the footage, but two, because that review was kind of rushed because I wasn't as deep into the game as I was when I actually made or when I'm making this review. By the time I'm actually recording this, I've already put in like over 10 hours into this game. And yeah, so at the end of this whole video, I am going to be discussing basically my thoughts and opinions about this game, where it does right and where it does wrong. But spoiler, there is more wrong than there is right. But to kick this list off, I do want to start with the pros in terms of this game because believe it or not, there are some pros to this One Punch Man game. One of these pros being the character customization. My goodness, is the character customization so fun within this game because there's just a lot you could do with this character, customization, but it takes a while for it to actually get fun because when you're actually put into this game, you have little to no clothing that you could actually buy. Like you have like the most generic character ever, which obviously when it comes to character customization in other games, that's how it usually starts. And the way you actually get clothing is by completing not only missions, but side missions, HUD missions, HQ missions, the story. There's just many ways in which you can actually obtain clothing. And the way that you can actually customize these characters are so fun. I really enjoyed creating my character to my own personal needs. Not only that, but there's also a second option, which is mode change, which if you guys don't know what that is, mode change is basically a change in appearance that you could do with your character that not a lot of people know about. But when you actually enter most stage, it actually increases your strength as well as you could actually do the killer move slash ultimate move within this game. And it's really fun because this means that you could actually have a character in base form and then have a character when they do mode change be a completely different character. Like this is kind of like a Xenoverse concept where you could have transformations, but instead of just transforming like the way the character actually like the height, the weight, making them skinny or fatter, changing the hair, this one you could actually change the complete thing. Like if you have like a really cool looking character, you could literally turn it into like a Saitama character like I did with my character. So there's a huge customization in terms of the actual character itself, and that's something that I personally loved because I'm a huge character customization person. I really like creating my own character, and I like how it's two different characters that you could actually do in one. So yes, character customization is a huge plus for me within this game. And the other thing that I do want to talk about that has to do with customization is the actual room customization itself. Now, although there is a con to it that the room is really small because it's supposed to resemble what Saitama has in terms of his small cubicle, I really do enjoy the fact that you could actually go into a room that you consider yourself and actually build upon it. Now, you actually only start off with like a mat on the ground where you sleep, but in terms of continuing the story, you unlock more and more as you go, which I was completely shocked when I actually went to the store and I saw that there's like a lot of new things that I could buy. Like I literally went from sleeping on the floor to sleeping on like a bed. And honestly, I'm not done with the game, so I don't know what the end result of the game is going to have in terms of the furniture. It's so sick that they actually have this where you could actually customize your room. The only thing I wish is they would have made the room bigger because of the amount that you actually have inside. It's kind of like a Tetris feel to it where you actually have to fit things into certain areas. That in and of itself is really cool, but I just wish the room was bigger because there's really not that much cool stuff that you could put in your room, and there's so much cool stuff that you can buy within the store, but like I stated, it all of the things that you buy most likely will not fit into your actual room. So you really have to be picky in terms of what you actually put in your room. But those two things, those two forms of customization are just so fun within this game. I really do enjoy it. And I honestly cannot wait to see how it looks when I actually finish the game. But speaking about the story, the main story in One Punch Man is by far the saving grace of this game because when it comes to One Punch Man season 1, you can't go wrong with the actual like anime. Like it's just One Punch Man. It's so much fun. It's a lot of fun to actually interact with these characters, fight against these characters. But the main issue I do have with the campaign is, although it is fun and it has its funny moments, it's so lackluster because there are a lot of scenes from the actual anime that are missing. And I had a lot of people within my Twitch chat actually telling me like, oh, they can't expect to animate everything, right? Like they can't animate all of the cool scenes. In reality, they probably could have, but this game was just rushed by the way it actually looks, that they just basically didn't even care, and it just gave us like weird scenes. Like there's a scene where they showed the Paradisers for the first time, with Hammerhead and his squad. Instead of actually animating it with the game, they just showcased screenshots from the actual game. I'm not from the game, from the anime, as well as when Saitama did the checkmate punch to Sonic. That was screenshots from the anime as well. Like all of these scenes that could have been so beautifully animated within this game were just given to us in forms of screenshots, which in my opinion, that kind of makes it better because the screenshots from season 1 are just by far more beautiful than anything within this game. So I'm kind of happy that they did that, but I still wish that within the story they could have given it more love to it and actually animated some of these scenes, because there's some parts of the actual story where it's just lackluster. Like it's literally you just looking at the characters. There's no like action sequence. There isn't anything really cool to talk about. It's literally just them, and especially Saitama. Saitama's so like unique because of the facial structures that he actually does, like his multiple faces that he has within season 1 of One Punch Man. But within this game, we don't get that many, Saitama face changes. Like they only come at very specific moments. So far from what I played, I've only seen like 3 or 4 changes, whereas in the anime you would literally have like 10 to 20 different face changes. So I'm kind of sad about that. But yes, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows campaign, I have not finished it, but from what I have played so far, it is decent enough to actually make this game better. Like if it wasn't for the campaign, this game would be bottom line trash. Like it'd be the worst anime game that I ever played, possibly right now, maybe, but if it wasn't for that campaign, it would literally 100% be the worst anime game. But in terms of the customization as well as the story, those that is as far as I will go in terms of what is good about this game. The rest of this video is going to be completely bashing this game because there is so much wrong with this game. And the first thing that I want to talk about are battle items. I had no idea that this game had battle items. Battle items are not even required within this game. My Twitch chat was actually telling me that once you get to a certain point of the game, you are most likely going to need items to help you in your fights. I have had zero actual like trouble playing this game or actually, facing off against these bosses. And the main reason I don't use items is because they're not an in-game type of thing that you could use. You actually use it before you enter a match. So let's say you're going to be entering a fight that you want more XP and like you want to grind XP, you would use an XP item before the match, and it'll only work for that one match, which in my opinion kind of sucks because it is a temporary buff that you get, but it's literally just a one match temporary buff, which I honestly never find myself using items unless you want to get the platinum trophy. Then you will have to use an item once, I believe, but apart from that, you really don't need items at all. It's literally the worst implementation within this actual game. And moving on to that, it has to be another con within this game are character missions. The main reason I hate character missions within this game is because character missions are used and utilized for you to do them to get more moves. And what I mean by that is you literally have to go to these specific characters, do their quests to get killer moves. Killer moves being like the supers as well as the ultimates that you get, which that in and of itself completely sucks because you could go through an entire portion of the actual game and not have a single ultimate move like I did. I had no ultimate move for majority of my gameplay. And it sucked because those ultimate moves are, one, they're super powerful, and two, they're really cool to look at. But the fact that you actually have to do all of these character missions to actually do it, it's so time consuming, and the fact that you don't have to do one, you have to keep doing these character missions until their meter, which is like a little heart friendship meter that they have, that has to fill up all the way before you actually get an ultimate from them. Now I don't know if there's necessarily another way that you could get ultimates, but for your specific stance that you want to get, you have to do those character missions, and that's something for me that I did not enjoy because I literally had to do so many Blizzard quests in order to get an ultimate, and that's one of the stance that I use the most, which I'll be talking about in a minute right here. But yeah, I just didn't like the character quest. And moving on to that, there are subquests as well. And the subquests within this game are so atrocious. I hate them. They consist of three different things. One, basically being a fetch quest where you actually go fetch something and return it to the person. Or it's a quest where they actually talk about monsters and you actually have to go get the monster, defeat the monster, and then go back. And it's literally like that, but rinse and repeat until you actually finish all of them. And that's something that I just completely hate in terms of subquests because there's no originality behind them. It's literally the same thing, just with different monsters or different things you have to fetch every single time. Like it's completely useless. You really don't need to do any of it. But that's the thing that I hate too. Now that I'm thinking about it, is the fact that you actually have to do the subquests in order to continue on the story. From what I've heard from people, when it comes to the story, you can't just beat the story all by itself. You actually have to do subquests in order to continue the main story. So a lot of people within my Twitch chat actually were saying that once you get to a certain point of the story, if you haven't done subquests, they actually cut off the story and you have to do subquests, and you have to keep doing subquests until they unlock the main quest, which in my opinion, why even do that? It's so ridiculous how they actually block the actual story with the subquests. But for me, that hasn't happened to me yet because I spend so much time doing subquests. Like, I make sure to do all the subquests before I move on to the story, so that way I could just keep on doing story, and once, subquests pop up, that's when I do them. But the fact that subquests block you from actually completing the story, that's just something I extremely hate. And coming into that as well, another thing that I just didn't like are the random missions that you have to do. What I mean by this is that there's two separate HUDs in terms of missions that you could do. One of them you could actually see within the actual HUD world when you're exploring within the open world. There's like a little section where you could actually do missions where everything's broken up between like 1 star, 2 star, 3 star in terms of its difficulty and what you get from them. There are two varieties of this, which I did not know before. The first being the one, obviously, like I mentioned, within the open world, and the other one is within the Hero Association's HQ. The thing that I did not know is that the only way to rank up your hero rank is by doing the HQ missions. I felt so dumb when I realized that because I literally spent so much time grinding on stream the missions in the open world, and I was even wondering because when you actually finish those missions they only give you, I believe, gold and XP. I was wondering, like, why isn't my hero rank going up? And then that's when I realized, when I went into the HQ missions, that the HQ missions had their own separate missions that has like the same menu as the open world missions, but this one gives you not only XP and gold, which gold you could use to buy items, customization clothing, as well as furniture and stuff for your house. You also rank up as a hero, and I did not know that because I spent so many hours grinding the one in the HUD that I didn't even know that the Hero Association had their own separate missions for them to actually level you up. And I felt so dumb because, like I stated, I spent so much time grinding those missions just to realize I could have been doing the other missions to actually level up everything all at once. I just felt so dumb, and that's once I actually did that, I was super overpowered because I was over leveled, and I was just going through all of those missions, and that's how I managed to get up to like A rank as of right now. I've just been beating so many of those missions that I'm basically A rank. Like, I'm not even halfway through the story and I'm already A rank. Like, I'm super close to S rank as well, which is what I do when I stream. I just keep on streaming missions in terms of me growing my hero rank, but I just find that completely useless. Like, why have two separate HUDs if you could just combine those into one HUD? Like, you're literally doing separate missions that are very similar, mind you. Like, these missions it's literally the same missions, just with different enemies that you have to fight. Like, it's so dumb and ridiculous. It's so time consuming, but you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get that 100%. And I just hated that. And the other thing that I do want to talk about, which has to do more in terms of gameplay now. So everything before it was kind of just like the actual game itself. This, what I'm gonna talk about right now, is strictly basically gameplay. And the one issue that I do have are the stances. Now, if you guys don't know what stances are, within this game, stances are basically different ways that you can actually fight within this game. So these stances are basically implemented within the game to spice up the gameplay so you don't use the same stance or the same moves over and over and over again, which in my opinion that was a really cool concept. But the main reason I didn't like these stances was because they are literally the same. Like, even though they have different powers and different, killer moves and ultimates, they literally have the same combo setups. And that's something that I realized after a while. Like, once I actually learned one stance and I moved on to the next stance, they were basically the same in terms of the combos that you actually do, which is just like normal attacks to heavy to normal attacks to, killer move. That's literally all you do over and over and over again. And when it comes to the stances, I believe they only go up to level 5, which if I actually showcase my menu, those are all the stances that I have right now. And I think I'm missing like one or two because I haven't finished the game, obviously. And you will notice that within all of these numbers, Metal Knight stance is at number 1, level 1. And the main reason it's at level 1 and the other ones are maxed out is because Metal Knights is so bad. I hated Metal Knights. Like, I tried my hardest on stream to level it up, but I couldn't get a single win using this stance. This stance just makes your character so slow. It has no combo confirms. It's literally the worst. And if you ask me what I think is the best stance, it really is up to interpretation and your opinion. For me, it's either the telekinesis stance or the Geno stance. Both of those have really cool combo confirms, which combo confirms are basically meaning that they go from normals to heavies to normals to ultimates or killer moves, and they have strong ultimates as well. Like, Genos' ultimate is just insanely powerful, as well as Blizzard's ultimate. Like, those two in my opinion are the best stances, but like I stated, it's up to opinion what you guys think. But yeah, stances in my opinion lackluster as well. It's really cool that you could switch between these, and the game, when you actually do subquests, does force you at times to switch in between these stances, because some of them actually have a requirement that you have to use one of the stances. But like I stated, they're literally the same. Like, there's no difference. Like, yeah, they look different, but at the same time, they literally are the same. Like, it doesn't matter if they look different, they're literally the same combo setup, which in my opinion, that's just a huge letdown. And each of these stances, like I stated, has a serious move, which in my opinion is a pro. I forgot to put it in the pro section for some reason, because these serious moves are one of the most beautifulest thing that you could see within this game. Like, the way that they're actually animated are really cool. How you get these ultimate moves is by obviously completing those missions with the actual heroes themselves and getting their friendships up. But when you're actually in the game, how you do the finisher is that you actually click, I believe it's left trigger as well as the right analog stick, and you go into the mode change. So if you customize your mode change, it will look different from your regular character, and then from there you just click left trigger and the right analog stick again, and you could do the ultimate move. And like I stated, that's literally the best part about the combat, because these are just beautifully animated. I really do enjoy them. All the ones that I've used so far have been so cool. They're just amazing. And to end all of this off, I do want to talk about the overall gameplay. When you actually play this game, it is by far one of the slowest games I've ever played. And that's coming from someone like myself. I do have a background of fighting games. I played games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Smash Bros., Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, I've played all of these types of fighting games, and I do feel as though this game is missing a huge chunk of its personality, because it's just so slow in terms of the gameplay, and especially with the knockdown that they actually get. Like, if someone does an auto combo on you, you're stuck on the ground for a cool 3 to 4 seconds. Like, even if you mash your hardest, it'll still take like 3 or 4 seconds to get up. And that, for me, if they could change that and make the get up faster as well as the movement faster, I feel like this game would be much more solid. But from what I've played so far in terms of the mechanics, it's just so slow. And sometimes the CPUs in this game just do the dumbest stuff that actually kills you. Like, the thing that I hate is when you actually do a serious slash ultimate move. Sometimes, if the timing is right, the character could literally just do a normal attack and they'll cancel it for you. And that's literally the same for any other move. You can actually cancel killer moves or ultimate moves. And in my opinion, that's just really, really dumb because, like, you're literally wasting meter for these moves just for people to just one punch you out of it. Like, in my opinion, that's really, really dumb. Sometimes during the map, they actually have hazards out, which I personally don't like the hazards. Sometimes it's lightning that hits you. Sometimes it's that one dragon mold from the House of Evolution. He actually pulls you down. There's like anti-gravity, which slows the gameplay down even more. Like, sure, all of these can happen to the AI as well, but in my opinion, they're just a huge hazard that I wish the map didn't have, because yes, it's supposed to spice up the gameplay, but in my opinion, I just don't like them. Like, I just literally, when it comes to the overall gameplay, there is nothing good about this game. If they actually tweak it to where the game is a bit faster and knockdown is faster to get up from, I'd be completely happy with that. And that's the main reason why I haven't touched online, because I am waiting for them to actually tweak this game a bit before I actually hop onto the online. All that I played so far has been offline stuff. So once they actually tweak all of these things in terms of gameplay, I might jump onto online. But as of right now, I have no interest in the online. But my overall verdict in terms of this game is One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, a good game. No. I honestly, in terms of like a fan, I did want to kind of push away my fandom. I mean, not my fandom, my fan love for One Punch Man, as well as, my love for video games. And putting those two together and creating this for me is like one of the most disrespectful things you could ever do in terms of an anime game. Like, I don't know what Bandai Namco or the companies were thinking when they actually released this game. This game, in my opinion, doesn't even feel finished. And the fact that people like myself spent $60 on this and they're expecting us to pay $20 for a season pass, which, mind you, the season pass is 4 characters. Dragon Ball Fighter Season 3 has 5 characters, and that was $20. So, for fighters, $20, we get 5 characters. For One Punch Man, we get 4. So, I I really don't know. And the fact, this is kind of going off in the mini rant, the fact that we're already getting one DLC character in April. So, like, in 1 month, we're getting the next DLC character, which, spoiler alert, it's Suiru. We all knew it was going to be Suiru because they actually just showcased it to us. The game came out basically the beginning of March, and we're already getting a DLC character, in April. So, like, 1 month after the game came out. For me, that is just the sketchiest thing to do. Like, if I was the actual creators of this game, I would have just waited that 1 month gap and actually made the game better. And you gave Suiru out as a free kind of like pre-order bonus, because the pre-order bonus was literally like a shirt, a sweater, and Saitama with pajamas as like an early unlock bonus. Like, that wasn't even worth it. I would have rather liked to get Suiru as like a pre-order bonus. But yeah, I don't know about this game, guys. I would not pay 60 for this. I wouldn't even pay 40. Like I stated, I would have paid $40 for this game, but after playing it for some time, I wouldn't even pay 40 for it. If you guys want this game, don't get it unless you're like a die-hard One Punch Man game, not One Punch Man game, die-hard One Punch Man fan, and you want like every single piece of merchandise, then I would buy this game. But if you're not a die-hard fan and you're just like a casual fan, don't get this game unless it's on special, like $20 or less. I would recommend getting it, but for $60, it is not worth it, guys. Not worth it at all. But that is just my opinion, even though my opinion is shared within a lot of other people's opinions as well. This is just my opinion, guys. Don't take my opinion as fact, but yeah, and just overall, I don't think this game is that good. I kind of was comparing it to Jump Force, and I was kind of seeing which game do I think was the worst, but I might actually make that into its own video. But I'm gonna stop rambling right here because this video has dragged on for too long. But at the end of the day, the verdict, I don't really like this game. Not that I don't like it, it's just for $60, it's just not worth it. The only reason why I'm having fun with the game is because I'm streaming it and people are there to just hear me rant about this game, and I do enjoy that, which obviously, another plug right here, twitch.tv/Captain Huggy Face, if you guys would like to watch me actually play through this game. But yes, the end verdict, this game is not worth $60. It is fun, but not fun at all to pay $60 for it. But at the end of the day, guys, what do you think about this game? Did you guys even know this game existed? What are your thoughts and opinions about this game? Do you have this game and have already returned it? Like, let me just know all of your thoughts and opinions about One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, down in the comment section below. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like as well as subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.